Time now for the Junior Manx Grand Prix, and after a mixed week of practice, 2010 winner Michael Sweeney was easily the fastest.
Well, Michael, did you smile when you saw the weather this morning? Oh yeah, it's fantastic. It's always great to race around here with good weather. And thoughts on the race today? Yeah, just a bit nervous at the minute, but just need to get the helmet on now and get away.
Everybody feels the same way at the start, even after years of experience. But you couldn't ask for better conditions. Dry all the way round, that's what we heard from the newcomers. And it's Stephen McKnight who leads them off the line and away on to Bray Hill for the first time. Still the most awe-inspiring start on any racetrack anywhere in the world. Here's James Cowton, fastest on his Super Twin, but well off the pace in the junior practices. It's Balaf for the first of 4 jumps. McKnight still ahead on the road and away towards Balacry and then Quarry Bends. But it's James Cowton making the running and setting the pace. Early days for the pit bulls to tell the rest, although McKnight will know when he gets to Ramsey, and he's on his way there now. Rob Hodson has made 10 seconds by the time he arrives on the Glen Helen section here, making the pass look easy. And he's just inside the top 10 as well at the moment. Hard landing for number 9, Andy Lawson, looking like 4th place at the moment. 10's Michael Mulai. He was scheduled to ride the MV, but now the entry list says Suzuki. Huge big wobble for James Cowton. Totally on it at the start of this race. Definitely worth seeing that landing again, because it's hard to see how he kept it upright. 3, Michael Russell now ahead of Mike Minns on the road and on time. James Cowton setting the pace on his way into Ramsey still, steadily increasing his lead. Paul Smith at Quarry Bends, proper racing lines on a day like today. McKnight is still the leader on the road and on his second trip through Kurt Michael onto Sulby, but it's Cowton, not Sweeney, who leads the race. And Michael Russell looks to be closing in on McKnight now. No speeding in the pit lane this time. The gravity fuel fill frustratingly slow. Andrew Saw, looking back at Anthony Redmond, Saw's the one making ground here. He started at 19, but it looks like he's being caught again now. Finally, the fill is done. That's Cowton out first. Now he leads on the road. Here's McKnight getting away after him. Thomas Gottschalk, well down the start order, hasn't reached the bungalow yet. In the pits, this is Michael Sweeney. He's second, chasing Cowton, and this isn't what he or we expected. That looked like Jamie Hamilton on the crew at the back. Almost. Colin Stevenson here. All the riders are impatient with this slow fill, but they need every drop for the last couple of laps. Terry Johnson, straight on at Sulby. He's not the first and probably won't be the last, and he's okay as well. Paul Smythe just outside the top 10 over the railway lines at the bungalow, going up Halewood Rise now. And just because there's no reason not to embarrass him twice. This is Stephen McKnight coming out of the dip and onto Glen Quattery Road. Somewhere behind him are Cowton and Sweeney, first and second and closing in. But there's no sign of Cowton here, and Sweeney now takes the flag. Well, there's drama for you. Sweeney wins when Cowton runs out of fuel at the Nook, just a few hundred yards from the finish. And won't Sweeney be surprised by that one?
Oh, Michael, was that a bit of a surprise at the end?
Yeah, definitely. I didn't know. I thought I was second, at a safe second until I was coming up pit lane. Till I seen Martin Marlowe with his finger saying number 1, so I didn't know what the carry on was. But it's brilliant. It's fantastic. I just wanted to do it over 4 laps, you know, because we got a win before in 2010 and it was only over 2 laps, and I wanted to do it over the 4 laps, you know. So we got it now. We can settle now for Friday, get ready for Friday.
Michael, at the end of the first lap, you were in 6th place, gradually pulled that back and placed on the podium now.
I was struggling to get into 6th gear on the last lap. It was really sort of struggling to pull. We had a problem in practice where it just was not breathing on the tank, and I thought similar sort of feeling, you know, when I was going up Ballahutchin. And I thought, oh, this is it, you know, she's just going to sort of conk out finally, and she just kept going. And I thought, well, if she's going to keep going, I'll keep going.
Andy made it up to the podium. Pleased with that?
Yeah, very, very happy. It was actually quite unexpected. The pit boards I was getting the whole race was saying P7, P6, P5, P7, and I knew the last 2 laps. I thought, well, I'm nowhere near the podium, so I'll just go as hard as I can, and I'm very, very amazed to be up there. It's great.
So everybody's celebrating on the podium for one reason or another, and all of that happening while the last few riders are still heading home. That's the end of the first day of racing, but with more races on Friday, the Super Twins and lightweights in the morning, and it's the senior on Friday afternoon.